Hey, so today is Tuesday, the 19th of March. I wanted to save this for posterity, mostly, just so that I could go back and look at it later on, So this is why I'm making a video. But I woke up this morning and I had a message from Adoptees Reunited. They're on Facebook. And I have been working with them the last couple of years. I got linked up with them in 2016 because I'm adopted and I know very little. I know that my birth mother's name is Gay Lowe. That's what she was listed as on the hospital records. I have the receipts from my birth. Anyway, I had her birth date. She was born sometime in the mid-40s. And, I know when I was born. That was October 3rd, 1965. And I was born at the Samuel Merritt's Hospital in Oakland, California. What I didn't know, I didn't find out until 2016. After my mother passed away, there was a bunch of boxes that I hadn't gone through. She passed away in 2010. I hadn't gone through them until 2016. I just didn't, But when I did, I found a letter from a couple in Ogden, Utah, where I grew up, in Utah, after I was adopted. And they were the ones who helped place me. So they were in contact with my mother, my birth mother, for the adoption, and they got her in contact with my mom and dad who raised me. Anyway, I didn't know anything about this. Nobody had ever told me about that. And so I tried to find them, and they had passed away, and I couldn't find any more information. It was kind of a dead end. But I had been given the suggestion by a friend to get a hold of Adoptees Reunited, so I did. I sent them the information that I found out, and we started chatting back and forth, and they've been doing some research for me off and on. And this morning, to go back to the beginning here, this morning I woke up and I had a message from them saying that, with a link for an application for a free DNA kit. Okay, so I already had the DNA test done. My son and daughter-in-law got me a DNA test for Christmas, and I got the results back in January, and I found out, what I'm made of, and it did show me that I had some first cousins, and I don't have a computer. I haven't really gotten on it to look into it or anything, but I said, I had the DNA test, so they asked me if I could send them the first couple of pages of the results, and so I did. And this is where it all started, because when I went in to look at those pages, I hadn't been getting emails, so I didn't know that I had messages. But and like I said, I hadn't checked in on it, and I really should have, I guess. I mean, for sure, right? But I did today, and there were 3 messages from 3 different people that were, DNA matches as being family, and they wanted to know who my parents were. I sent them all a message saying, I only have the name Gay Lowe. I was born in Oakland, California at the Samuel Merritt's Hospital in 1965, and Gay Lowe is my birth mother, and that's all I know. And so then I started getting messages from a lady, and turns out her name is Jill, and it turns out that she's married to my first cousin on my dad's side. I didn't know anything about my dad. He wasn't listed on the birth certificate, and the only information I was ever told was that he was in the military and that he was Irish. But that was it. That's all I knew. And it turns out that he is one of 8 brothers. He has 8 brothers and 4 sisters. And my grandparents, which just cracks me up. I mean, it cracks me up. Grandparents, you know. I grew up without grandparents. Yeah, I only knew one grandparent. My grandmother on my adopted dad's side. And she passed away when I was 3. I loved her. You know, I loved her. And here in a little while, I'm going to have her last name, but which is Jones. But that's another story. But anyway, but yeah, I grew up without grandparents. And just to have somebody, you know, your grandparents. Anyway, they lived in Northern California, in that area, and in that time. And so anyway, I have 8 uncles and 4 aunts, and so far I've seen pictures of 2 of my aunts, Aunt Joyce and Aunt Jerry. And Aunt Jerry apparently is married to Norm Davis. So far, this is how the story is. And so I've seen pictures of my Aunt Jerry and my Uncle Norm. So I've seen 2 of my dad's sisters. And anyway, I'm on my way home from work right now. I gotta go pick up my dog, Millie. She's adorable. And I'm gonna go down to see my kids. They live down in Taylorsville by Salt Lake. And so yeah, my daughter lives in Washington. We're all going to be in contact tonight because we're going to call my cousin Jill and we're going to find out more. She thinks she has it narrowed down to one of 3 brothers. And I'm hoping to find out. I'm hoping to find out who my dad is today, which is really cool. I don't even know if he knows I exist. The story I was told was that she, my birth mother, was married and had 2 kids, 2 daughters. One of them was 2 years older than me. One of them was 5 years older than me. And her husband was stationed somewhere out of the United States at the time that she got pregnant with me. So that's why I don't even know if he knew that he even had that she was ever pregnant. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of hoping that, I know it's good, probably maybe a big surprise. I'm hoping it's a pleasant surprise, you know. But either way, my cousin Jill said, "Welcome to the family," and I think that's awesome. And I might have brothers and sisters, you know, from him. I have a whole family on that side, right? I mean, there's a whole family there. But the coolest thing is that, you know, I knew that I was, you know, English and Irish and Scottish. I knew that, but I didn't know anything else about my, you know, ancestry at all. Like, I didn't know where they came from over there in England and Scotland and Ireland. I didn't know where they lived, who they were, what they did, how they got here, when they got here, where did they live when they got here, you know, how did they get all the way to California? Just because it turns out they made it all the way to California. You know, how did that happen? I didn't know any of that. And I get to know that kind of stuff now about myself, and that is incredible. That's just incredible. So yeah, I've found my dad's side of the family today, and I think that it's seriously one of the best days of my whole life. You know, I liked being an adopted kid. I didn't know anything about myself. I knew a lot about the people that raised me, and I knew a lot about their families. You know, we're related to the RVs. My aunts did some extensive genealogy work. We know a lot about the RVs, and it's really cool to know about them, but I didn't know about me, you know. And now I'm going to get to learn a little bit more about me, and I think it's really cool. So I just wanted to put it on video because I'm overwhelmed with, oh my gosh, I'm so freaking happy right now, you know, and I'm just emotional as you know, but it's great. It feels so good. And I just want to share the experience, you know. I want to be able to share the experience. I think it's really cool, you know. I'm just glad I'm here. You know, I'm just really glad I'm here. And I think I'm really happy that that the people who played a part in getting me here in the first place now know that I'm here too. So, so I'm going to take more videos. I'm going to go down to the kids, and we're going to call. I got the phone number for my cousin Jill, and we're going to give her a call. But she lives in San Diego, and we're just going to find out more. And I will let you all know. Right? Honestly, I've never felt like this before. It's such an amazing feeling. I don't even know what else to say. I'm just, you know, I'm glad I'm here. That's just one thing. I'm really, you know, yeah. I'm just so fucking happy that this is happening right now. Excuse my French. Bet you didn't know that was French. Anyway, I'll be back. I'll talk to you guys again soon.